Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to crack open some really interesting sources and pull out the insights that matter for you. Today, we're actually embarking on what I think is a pretty vital journey. It's a deep dive into self-discovery, into purpose.
Hmm.
Our source material, it's frankly a goldmine of questions from a life coaching program document.
Mm.
Really profound stuff. And our mission here is to sort of unpack the power in these questions to help guide you towards clarity on, your vision, mission, passion, purpose. Fundamentally, how you want to live your life. So whether you feel a bit stuck maybe, or you're looking for direction, or honestly just curious about, getting more out of life, this session offers a framework, a toolkit for understanding yourself better and acting on it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these aren't just standard questions. They act more like a mirror, don't they? They invite you to look at parts of yourself you might usually just, gloss over in the daily rush. And it's not really about finding one single right answer. It's more about starting a conversation with yourself, an ongoing one that, changes as you change.
Absolutely, a dialogue. And the first big piece the source lays down is vision. It jumps right in with this really evocative question. If your life was a film, what is the plot and how does it end? That's not just daydreaming, is it? It's really asking you to step up and be the director.
Precisely. And the source calls vision your North Star. It's a powerful metaphor. It does more than just inspire. A clear North Star acts like an internal filter for your decisions. It can make complex choices simpler, It shows you when something doesn't quite fit before it takes you off track. It's not just about knowing where you're heading,
Right.
but also knowing what not to pursue, what to say no to. Think about that for a second. How could having that level of clarity change your everyday choices?
That definite direction. Yeah, it makes you think about the practical steps, the roadmap. How do we get from that big picture, that film ending, to, what we do tomorrow? And that seems to be where mission comes in. The source pushes us to identify, what is it? 3 to 5 major things you want to achieve. But then it gets very practical very quickly. How will you achieve them? For whom are you doing this? And crucially, what are the key factors for success?
Yeah, and if you connect those two, vision and mission, the mission isn't just a to-do list. It's the set of actions that bring that big vision to life.
Oh.
It's the how that serves the where. What makes these questions so effective, I think, is that they force you to move beyond just wishing. They demand you think about when things will happen, and maybe most importantly, what have you already done towards it?
The accountability piece.
Exactly. It shifts a grand idea from a dream into something you're actively working on right now.
Okay, so from that sort of external blueprint, planning, we move inward to what really drives us, starting with passion. The source asks you to think about what you could really not give up from your life, what makes challenges feel, fun and motivational. It even touches on doing hard work for no pay or losing all sense of time. That's the zone, isn't it? When you're just completely absorbed.
It really is. And the key thing here isn't just that passion makes things enjoyable. It taps into this intrinsic drive. It's almost inexhaustible because it doesn't always rely on just pure willpower. When you operate from genuine passion, the effort feels different, less like grinding, more like engaging. It gives you this incredible resilience for the long haul, especially when things inevitably get difficult.
And that deep feeling, that passion, often points toward purpose, doesn't it? This is where the source asks the really big one. Why are you here? What were you created to do? It asks you to think back to childhood dreams, maybe, or topics you could just read endlessly about, hundreds of books without getting bored.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, I suspect this taps into that feeling of, is this really it? Or surely there's something more.
Oh, absolutely. That existential nudge. The source describes purpose as something you're passionate about, yes, but also something you're naturally good at, something you love doing and sharing, and something you can truly commit to. It's where you gain energy, not just spend it. It's often what you're willing to sacrifice other things for. Finding purpose isn't just a nice to have. It's about aligning what you do every day with what you deeply believe in.
Yeah.
That creates this resonance.
That's
that
it.
cuts through the noise and leads to real meaning, deep satisfaction.
So if purpose is the why, then values seem to be the how we conduct ourselves along the way, our internal guidelines. The program asks us to see values as ideal or moral guides for your behavior. And it pushes you, asking you to recall times you were prepared to get into trouble, take risks, or be unpopular, to do what felt right, not just convenient. That's really where your principles become real, isn't it?
That's where integrity shows up, yes. Values aren't just words on a page, they're the psychological framework. When you honor them, you feel coherent, at peace internally. violate them, and that's when you feel that inner conflict, that discomfort.
Mm.
Interestingly, the source suggests looking at what makes you really upset or deeply fulfilled those reactions often points straight to your core values.
Oh, that's a good point.
And then it asks you to think, end of your life, what 3 values would you tell people were most important? That's a powerful reflection on what you really stand for deep down.
Okay, so we've got vision, mission, passion, purpose, values, these big foundational pieces. Then the program looks at way, how you live your life, your methods. It asks things like, how do other people describe your approach? How do you keep yourself on track? And this is key for growth, I think. Is your way of doing things improving?
That really emphasizes developing self-awareness, doesn't it? Not just doing things, but noticing how you're doing them. It's about becoming more reflective, turning obstacles into learning opportunities. Are you just stuck in old patterns, or are you actively refining your approach, making your way more effective over time?
Then there's some really clever perspective shifts. Under timeline and choices, there's this question. Imagine looking back to today in 5 years. What advice would you give yourself?
Wow. That future self exercise is incredibly potent. It helps cut through the immediate noise, the anxieties of right now, and gives you clarity on present decisions. It lets you access a more objective view, maybe. What really matters in the long run? What step is essential now? What might your future self regret if you don't do it?
It bypasses your current biases. That's smart. From there, it zooms into identity, your character strengths, how others perceive you, and then connects that straight to legacy. What do you want to leave behind? How do you want to benefit others?
And you see the direct link, right? Who you are, your character, your skills, your way of being, that's what shapes the impact you leave. Your identity creates your legacy. The source has another great question here. If you were a brand, what would the marketing team say about you?
It's a slightly unusual way to think about it.
Yeah, a bit corporate maybe, but
But it forces you to distill your unique value. What do you bring to the world? What's your brand promise, so to speak?
I like that. Now, one of the really practical exercises is called Stuck, Get Some Advice. This one's quite creative. You imagine having a problem and you invite 3 mentors or heroes that can be anyone, real, fictional, alive, dead, into a room, one by one, to ask for their advice. It's such a great way to access wisdom outside your own head, isn't it? It forces you to adopt different perspectives. And after you imagine these conversations, the crucial steps are, what's the common thread in their advice? What overlaps? And then, most importantly, what's the first thing you'll do right now based on that?
Making it immediately actionable again.
Yes. It demands you take that first small step.
And to keep these big ideas grounded, the source also talks about missions to achieve, breaking down those major life goals into, say, 2-3-year chunks and then 5-7-year chunks. It also makes you think about obstacles and the support you'll need.
Which just underscores how vital structured planning is.
Yeah.
And tracking your progress, how you turn those big visions and heartfelt purposes into an actual roadmap. You have to be strategic about getting the resources, the help you need to overcome challenges and actually, make it happen.
So we've planned. We understand ourselves better. How do we keep going? The source looks at develop motivation. It asked about gratitude, what are you thankful for? Pride, what makes you proud? Hope, what are you hoping for? But then it throws in a curveball. What do you think you want versus what you really want?
That's a critical distinction. Understanding the deeper why behind your goals is key for motivation that lasts. Surface desires like, I want more money, can fade. But if you understand the core need behind that, maybe it's security or freedom, or the ability to make an impact that provides a much deeper, more resilient fuel for your drive, it refills itself.
Finding the true root of the desire. Okay. And finally, there's this really powerful visualization exercise under will you achieve your goal? It suggests picturing yourself at the exact moment you achieve a major goal. You're surrounded by everyone involved, colleagues, family, friends, and you try to see yourself through their eyes.
The impact of seeing it from the outside, it's profound. It can highlight the skills you use, maybe skills you didn't even realize were so important. It can bring the challenges you overcame into sharper focus. And perhaps most importantly, it clarifies the real significance of the achievement, not just for you, but for everyone connected to it. You see the ripple effect.
That adds a whole other layer of meaning. Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up. It feels clear that this life coaching program source isn't about giving you answers. Not at all. It's really providing this incredible framework of questions. Powerful questions designed to spark your own reflection and then hopefully ignite action. Action that helps you build the life you actually want.
It's about writing your own story.
Exactly. It really shows the power of asking yourself good questions intentionally. So maybe the takeaway for everyone listening based on all this, what's one small question you'll ask yourself today? Or maybe what's one tiny action you'll take, just one, to move even slightly closer to your own North Star, your purpose, or the legacy you want to create? That's a fantastic thought to end on. A great challenge. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring those questions, keep reflecting, and keep moving forward on your own unique journey.